If you are wondering what even is Next.js, don't worry, I have got you covered. Next.js is a framework built on top of React, the popular JavaScript library for building user interfaces. Think of it as React with extra powers. It simplifies creating fast, modern web applications by handling things like routing, rendering, and even backend logic. Whether you are making a blog, an online store, or a portfolio, Next.js makes your life easier with better performance, SEO-friendly pages, and tools that save your time. If that sounds like a lot, stick with me. We are about to break down the top 10 features that make Next.js so awesome, starting with one that changes how you think about navigation. Let's kick things off with the number 10, the app router. Routing is how your app decides what pages to show based on the URL, and Next.js makes it super simple. Inside your project, you create an app folder. Each subfolder makes a route and a file called page.js or page.tsx. Inside it defines what users see. For example, a contact folder with a page.js or page.tsx file becomes /contact. It's like your file structure is a map of your app. You might ask, how is this different from regular routing? Unlike older methods where you write tons of code to define routes, here it's all visual and automatic. Another question you may ask may be, can I do nested pages like blog/posts? Just nest folders and it works like a charm. It's routing made easy. Then we have dynamic routes. So what if you need pages that adapt like a unique page for each blog post? With dynamic routes, you add square brackets to a folder name like ID. Now posts/id can become posts/1 or posts/whatever. Inside your page.js, you grab that ID to show the right content. It's perfect for things like user profile or product pages. You might wonder, how do I handle the data for each page? Just fetch it based on the parameter. It's that simple. Now the question you may ask is, can I use more than one dynamic part? Absolutely. Try shop/category/items. It's flexibility without the headache. Next up is API routes. Normally, you would need a separate server for backend stuff like fetching data or handling forms. Not with the Next.js. Create an API folder and add a file like user.js and write a function to respond to requests, and boom, you have got an endpoint at API/users. A question is, do I still need a full backend? For small projects, no. This does the trick for bigger ones. You can connect to other servers if you want, and you can secure it by adding authentication logic or use tools like NextAuth. Server actions. Say you have got a form. Normally, you would send the data to an API and wait for a response. With the server actions, you write a function that runs on the server and call it straight from your component. For example, a button could trigger a server function to update a database. It's server side, so sensitive stuff stays hidden. It's perfect for submissions. Even with files, it cuts off extra steps and keeps things secure. React server components. Usually React runs in the browser, sending a lot of JavaScript to user. Server components render on the server instead, sending just HTML. This means faster load times and better SEO. Since search engines love pre-rendered content, you might wonder, what about interactive stuff like buttons? No problem. Use client component for those parts and server components for the rest. Streaming with suspense. Imagine a page with a slow database call. Normally, users wait for everything to load. With streaming, Next.js shows part of the pages, like the header, as soon as they are ready, while the rest catches up. It's smoother and feels faster. You might ask, can I stream anything? Pretty much. Wrap any component in suspense and it works. Another question is, what if something fails? You can show a feedback like loading spinner, so it's never janky. It's all about keeping users engaged. Image optimization. Big images can slow your site down, but Next.js fixes that with its image component. It resizes images, switches them to fast formats like WebP, and only loads them when they are visible. A huge photo becomes tiny without extra work. Font optimization. Ever seen text flicker because won't load late? Next.js preloads them for you, so your page looks polished right away. It works with the Google fonts or your own custom ones. You might wonder, do I need to set up custom fonts differently? Nope. Just use them normally and Next.js handles the rest. Another question you may ask is, does it slow things down? Actually, it speeds them up by loading fonts smartly. It's a small touch with a big impact. Incremental static generation. Static sites are fast but hard to update. Dynamic sites are flexible but slower. ISR gives you both. Build static pages for speed, then refresh them as needed, like every minute, without rebuilding everything. It's great for news sites or shops. You can set an interval time to refresh refresh your site in periodic interval. You can even update it manually. It's scalable and sleek. Turbo Pack. This is Next.js new super fast bundler written in Rust. It replaces Webpack and speed up builds and reloads by hundreds of times. Changes in development instant. You may ask, does it work with every Next.js app? It's for version 13 and up. So check your setup. Another question you may ask is how it's better than Webpack. It's faster and built for today's web. And there you go. From app router's simplicity to Turbo Pack's speed, Next.js is packed with tools to make your web project shine.